What's up, boss dons? So today we're going to be working on some chicken tacos. Of course, everything is like vegetarian, it's not completely vegan. Today we're going to be working on these chicken tacos. It's a very simple thing to make, and they good as honestly. So it's like a you can't lose type thing. So even if you are a vegetarian or vegan or any of that great stuff, you're still gonna like these. So the main ingredient today is gonna be these Morningstar chicken strips, and these are vegan. I've worked with these plenty of times. They're supposed to be cooked frozen, but the way I like to cook them, I prefer to cook them. I would recommend letting them defrost a little. So yeah, so the first thing we're gonna do today is run through all of the ingredients, and then we can get into a step-by-step process of how to do it. Okay, so I already told you the first ingredient. Of course, you're gonna need some flour tortillas. You can, depending on how you like your tacos, I like soft shells, I love stuff like that. So I usually don't even cook them. If I do decide to heat them up a little bit, I'll probably put a couple of them in the microwave between like 2 damp paper towels for like 30 seconds, and that'll get them nice and warm for you. So then we have some vegan cheese. This is 100% vegan. They're by a brand called Vio Life, which is funny because like it looks like life in life, because Vio, I know like okay, we ain't gonna get into that. It's not a language thing, but I use mozzarella and I use cheddar. These are probably my favorite 2 of flavors that I can find. Like usually I've seen like pepper jack before, but it just tasted spicy and it didn't taste like cheese. So then of course you're gonna need some lettuce. If you could buy shredded lettuce, but that might be a little bit more processed, but if you could buy shredded lettuce, that would be good because it would save you a step. Like you can buy diced peppers and stuff, but personally I like to cut my own. I even like to use some of the actual peppers in the inside, like the seeds. I use those. I don't know if y'all use those. I use those. And then an onion. So those are all of the more like basic ingredients. Oh, and you cannot forget your seasoning packs. Now, personally, I like the hot taco McCormick pack, or I've even got the old El Paso season packs too, but these do fine. And then even, that might have been the same. That might be a McCormick brand, so I'm not really sure, but mild if you're cooking for somebody other than yourself, because everybody can't handle the heat. Then I like using fresh peppers. Usually I would have a green pepper too, but these came 3 in a pack, and then I don't be feeling like buying the 3rd one. Okay, so the camera died, so I did a little bit of prepping, but trust me, you missed nothing. I'm gonna show you how to do everything that you may need to know how to do. So, for the chicken, they come in these pretty like, well, this isn't one, but they come in these pretty like long strips, like this. And I like to turn them into cubes, like this, because I feel like with tacos, you want your meat to be small. This is a value pack. If you get a regular pack, it will probably be better if you're just cooking a couple servings for yourself. Me personally, I like to eat off of stuff for a while, so I like to do it that way. So, and cutting them is very simple. Hopefully you can see this right now. My kind of time is kind of in the way, but in short, I just cut them into smaller cubes. I group them together, sometimes 2 by 2 or 3, and just cut them into smaller cubes. And it's really just that simple. The reason why I cut the chicken up is to give more of a taco feel. I feel like with tacos, you don't need like big pieces of chicken. Personally, when I used to eat chicken tacos with real chicken, I would use like chicken breast and cut them up into like really small morsels anyway. So this to me is the same difference. And so beyond cutting these up, and you want to get yourself a bowl, and you want to somewhat like marinate them. Now, because I'm doing a video, I'm going to cook these right away. But remember how I was talking about, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a point in time where I was discussing them starting frozen. So you can marinate them while they're frozen and then put them in the fridge to kind of like defrost, so to speak. So that's pretty much that. Now, just to give you guys a rundown of the seasonings I like to use. I already told you guys about the taco pack. I do use a lot of seasonings, primarily because my aim is to recreate something that is or shall I say taste more like what you're used to, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna run through the seasonings and then we can start working. So Mrs. Dash, garlic and herb, and of course everything will be listed below. Montreal steak seasoning. I love this seasoning right here. It's probably one of my favorite seasonings. Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning. This is pretty new, and I always say if you buy a new seasoning, you should always taste it. I've tasted this before. I've used this for a couple things like noodles, some other weird shit. Then just like some Cajun seasoning. You can pretty much get this from any brand. They're pretty much all standard. Onion powder, because I just like that onion taste, and sometimes if onions aren't really cooked well with the items, it's kind of hard to get that onion flavor without it tasting just like onions, if you know what I mean. Then some crushed red peppers, because who doesn't love spicy shit. Curry powder. I love using curry powder in pretty much any and everything chicken related, like just a little bit of it. So then just a little lemon pepper, some parsley flakes. I don't know, I think they just require it. Black pepper, of course. I always love the one with the grinder because it makes me feel like I'm getting a little variation in my pepper. Okay, then we got some rib rack spice rub. I've only used this once before, and I bought it for this specifically, but I used it to, I bought some pasta, some vegan pasta, and it was good, but it needed some of this, so hopefully this does the trick today too. But any kind of chicken seasoning, they also have like a Montreal chicken seasoning as well. Any kind of chicken seasoning, it just will really hone in on that chicken flavor. Then I got some fresh basil because I seen it and I wanted it. Might sneak in a little bit of this hot sauce. I like the Old Bay kind. And then this right here is pretty much my secret ingredient to everything I make. And as we go through these cooking serves, you'll see how important hot honey is. Me personally, let me move the camera really quickly. My flavor palette has always been, or was always surrounded by something that's like spicy. But if something is too spicy, it loses flavor, and then it's just like hot and unbearable. So I feel like the sweetness always comes in and like rescues the meal. All right, so let's get this in a bowl. While you guys were gone, I did cut up my peppers. And I did cut my onions. I was just trying to kill as much time as I could because, yeah, like, what are you supposed to do when your camera dead? And as I told y'all, like, this is a lot of chicken. You usually don't need this much. I mean, it just depends on how many tacos you're making and how many you're making them for. Before I shoot videos, I make sure everything is really nice and clean, or as clean as possible, because, you know, one, you record it, so you need this shit to be, yeah. So now this is our bowl. So now, before we add in our peppers and onions, we're gonna season. All right, so I'm gonna show you. I don't really put too much of anything. And then, yeah, that was a lot. I'm gonna put it back down so we can focus on that and not me. I know y'all probably wanna see my face, but y'all be cool. So now we're gonna do the Slap Your Mama. Now this Slap Your Mama is kind of like a Cajun seasoning in itself, or what I would compare it to. The top is kind of broke. Couple shakes. Nothing is ever measured. Not too much though. Anything with salt, I would say go light on. See, the Slap Your Mama and your Cajun look pretty much the same. I always save the best for last. Lemon pepper, you want to be really light, because I mean, who wants something that tastes lemony? But I'm not gonna lie, lemon there's always that hint of lemon. You always add a fresh lemon in too. It's always something about lemon that does the trick. Now these we're gonna kind of go a little extra on, because I love spicy stuff. Curry powder, not too much, because curry is such a strong flavor that you don't want it to overpower. So I would literally say like 1, 2 at best. That smell, I wish y'all could smell what this already smell like. Now, really, I like to use like anything sticky first, so that way this flavor sticks. But today, I think we should be fine. So we're using a good amount of that. That was probably like a tablespoon. All right, so now, what are we missing? We're missing some parsley. Stuff that looks seasoned, I think tricks the mind. Now we're gonna do the steak seasoning. And by the way, guys, these are my first time doing cooking videos. I haven't really had the time to like learn in between. I say that to say, give me grace, and also give me tips. I'm all open for tips. Now the spice rub, we're gonna kind of cover it. I'm gonna just say cover it. I'm gonna show you what we're looking like right now. See? That's what we're looking like right now. Then we just gonna add 1 drop of hot sauce. Okay, 2. Okay, 3. Okay, 4 or 5. But like little drops. And then I'm gonna get some lightly dried fresh basil. It smells horrible. And just add that in there because this is so impactful when it comes to flavor though. Especially with rice, I would say. Okay, so that's pretty much all of our seasonings. And now we're gonna fold in our onions, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, and then we'll take it to the pan. Now notice I didn't put this pack in yet because I let this be like, you know, what you actually cook. Because when you start to mix stuff around, like when you start putting it in the pan, like a lot of the seasonings will run off of the meats and get into the, they'll get into like just stick it on the pan. So you don't want to put all your seasonings in at once. That's a major key. Okay, so as you can see, I diced up all my peppers. Just want to get them real fine. You don't want the peppers to be as, you know, as big as the chicken. You know what I'm saying? And then we diced up some onions as well. You know, honestly, I probably would have put these on a paper plate, but I'm making a video, so a bowl will be fine. I haven't gotten to that age of life yet where, as I'm cooking, I care about the aesthetics. I may care about the aesthetic once the meal is done. And I know y'all probably see me keep talking over the food, but I mean, I'm only eating it, so I don't really give a fuck. So then we're gonna stir this up. Boom. I am gonna stir before I fold in the stuff so that way it could actually touch the chicken. We don't want to season all the peppers, and then you want to season your peppers and your onions, but you kind of want to use them as seasoning more so. So yes, I'm using a knife. It will be fine. Okay. Now we're gonna do the peppers first. We're gonna put all of these bad boys in because we need all of these bad boys. And I like my stuff to kind of cook down very firmly. Well, oh, y'all can see it better right here. So now we're just gonna put all these onions in. Some people like onions in their actual taco, so I'm gonna leave some raw. Maybe like that much, because how much raw onion do you need? Well, it's not really good for you. So now you're just gonna fold this in, and I just kind of pick it up and drop it back down. Pick it up and drop it back down. Pick it up and drop it back down. Stir it up a little bit. You know, once it get in that pan, it's gonna make all the difference. Okay, so now you want to, now realistically, I would say let this sit for a while so the flavor can absorb. But this is a video. The camera don't got that much battery, so we're gonna put this in the pan now. In the meantime, only other thing I would tell you, which is something I did, I'm just talking right now so y'all can see me. Something that I did, let me see, I might can turn this light down, so yeah, okay. Something that I did that I really like, that I think is smart is cutting up your lettuce now, just because you might have the time. I kind of cut the lettuce, I like to look like shredded lettuce. I like it to look like it's in lines, and I'll show you guys that in a second. So now we're just gonna use some plant-based butter, put that into the pan, then get to cooking. Okay, and now we're back to the stove. This is probably the simplest part of making tacos. I mean, you literally just put the chicken, the peppers and stuff into the pan, literally. But why would I be making a video if I wasn't gonna show you? To kind of get my pan started, I'm gonna turn the burner to about like a 6. I like stuff to cook pretty fast. I mean, it's not meat, so we don't have to worry about it necessarily being done, and it doesn't have any dairy in it, so you don't have to worry about that being like cooked. I don't even know how that works, by the way, but that's another story, another time. So country crock, you know, that's what I've kind of grown up on, that type of butter or not butter, don't know. But this is a plant-based butter, and it's made with olive oil, and it's dairy free. So for someone who's lactose intolerant, or if you care a lot about your skin, even if you aren't vegetarian and you're supplementing chicken for this recipe, which I would not recommend because chicken is just awful, I would be sure to put some links down below to some documentaries you guys should watch. But yeah, anything dairy-free is just way better for your skin, especially if you're lactose intolerant. So now we're gonna move a little bit closer so we can get to the pan. Let me see, because we're using a big burner, so let me put this down some. All right, it's just, me as a narcissist, I really like to show my face in things, and I be remembering like, hey, they aren't here for my face, you know? So, let me see. I don't know if y'all know like the old school test to see if like a pan is hot, like the water. Okay, that's how you know the pan not hot. If there's like, I mean, I don't know if that's like a scientific fact or not, but like, you know, usually like if the water starts to like sizzle, that means that the pan is hot. You don't need much, you just pretty much need like whatever the tip of your knife can hold. Butter evenly spread around your pan. Then you just want to start putting in your chicken. Oh, so well seasoned already. Now see, at this point you pretty much can make any meal, you know, with said chicken. Like you can substitute just for anything. And I just like to flatten everything out. And so, if you can get any of your juices out of your bowl, you want to get those. Those juices are important. All of this seasoning, don't let that go to waste. And this is what I was talking about when I was saying like stuff will stick to the pan later on. Man, don't let your seasonings go to waste. At the end of the day, we're not eating the bowl, we're not eating the pan, we're eating the chicken. So we need all the love, all the juice on the chicken. And so we'll fold this in a little later once the chicken is kind of starting to brown. Now this particular brand of chicken, it doesn't brown that much, so you don't have much work to do. And I just like to keep stuff moving around so it doesn't burn. Remember, I'm not a chef, I'm just a don who knows how to do everything. And sometimes being perfect is hard because what ends up happening is, it's just like everybody expects perfection from you. And it's like, damn, I can't be perfect at everything at all times just because I am. People don't realize perfection is more about effort than who you are, you know? But then sometimes, based on who you are, if you put in too much effort, you look like you're doing too much. So, you just gotta be that person and know who you are. And for me, I know who I am. I know how I like my food, I know how I like my shows, I know how I like everything. You know, one thing I can say about Kanye that I did respect was Runaway, and him just realizing that he's so gifted at finding out what he doesn't like the most, you know? But I just want y'all to see this, like, look at this. Ooh, with the steam coming out. If this falls, oh yeah, ooh, look at that. Ooh. And this is a money shot right here. This is a money shot. Okay, so, with this season pack, right, you're supposed to add in a little water, but that sounds very Caucasian, so I'm gonna do a little water and a little butter. So I did, which is technically this little measuring cup right here. It says like, all right, we could do like, they got all the little units and shit, but it's like tablespoons. So it's like about 1 tablespoon once it melts down, it's like 1 tablespoon. And then we're going, because it say 3/4 of a cup. That's too much. So we're just gonna add a little bit of water like this. Look. So when both of your units should kind of be under the 3. You feel me? So under the 3. Then you're gonna microwave this. It's microwave right above me. I think I should probably be showing this, but y'all be alright. We're gonna put that in there for 30 seconds. Now, once your stuff, while I was away, while I was charging the camera, I kind of let it brown some, so you can really see how much it browns, and it just looks so good. The smell in here is beautiful. I love to see a little burn on my meat. When I used to eat meat, I would have to pretty much eat it burnt, so that's why it was so easy for me to stop eating meat, because I always had those thoughts of like eating raw meat. So I don't care how ghetto it is forever to eat, how ghetto it may ever be. Okay, so now we got our butter water mixture. How ghetto it may, I don't eat steak, but for those people who eat like medium rare and stuff because you feel like you've been shamed into doing that, yo, have some confidence in yourself. You're the one paying for the meat. Don't care how they look at you. If you want your shit well done ask for well done. I still don't understand the science behind eating raw meat, and I need someone to explain that to me, because I believe that if that's the case, then why we just ain't out here biting animals? Maybe it's temperature to a certain amount, so it's like technically cooked. I don't know. I don't want any blood in my meat. I think y'all meat eaters are disgusting, especially y'all who eat steak that's medium motherfucking rare. Okay, so now we're gonna wet this up. We're gonna wet this up. We're gonna wet our meat. Okay, with our butter. And then we're gonna quickly pour in. Oh, I gotta do it this way. I'm sorry. We're gonna quickly sift in our taco seasoning. And this is going to change the smell, the flavors, really going to give it that taco feel. And it's probably just a bunch of these flavors mixed up, honestly, already. But you see how the chicken is now like this deep brownish orange, like, yo. And I also want you guys to notice, let me see if I can get a pepper kind of like specifically. You notice once your peppers are cooked, they become a little, oh shit, it fell. But your peppers and onions, once they kind of get cooked down, they become a lot more translucent. And now we're going to turn our pan up back to at least like, I'm going to put like 3. So that's like a medium heat, some a little less than medium. And then you just want to let that brown on down. You know, just mix it all up. Try to get your taco seasoning spread. You want to, no cube left behind, you know. So now you can kind of just take this off. Your meat should be done by now. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes. It doesn't really take that long. And most of the length of the cooking has really just been trying to like not cook it too fast, so that way we won't overcook it, you know what I'm saying, as far as like trying to do the video and like making it make sense. But now we just want to let that sit. Once it cools, I would say wash out that same bowl that you mix your stuff. Okay, so now we're at the final step, which is pretty much just assembling. As I told you, I already shredded my lettuce earlier. We cut that up. We put the cheese in the bowl because it's a video and we're trying to look a little bit more, you know, aesthetic-y. And we put our chicken back in that same mixing bowl. We just rinsed it out real quick. My tortillas, I told you I pretty much eat them like uncooked, but I just put this in the microwave for like 10 seconds. And then it's just all about the assembly, which is never really that difficult, you know. I mean, you assemble your tacos how you like. I like to put a little meat first, you know, get that nice and centered bone. Oh, look at that. Y'all see this meat with the peppers just, oh yeah. I put a little cheese in there. I don't really need rice. I don't need pretty much any of that. I'm not gonna lie, usually I do corn though. I do like corn in my taco, but sometimes it's cool without. We're kind of going simple today. Did y'all know corn isn't a vegetable? Birthday. And of course, everything is going to be linked in the description. And I'm going to just put this up a little bit more for y'all. We just going to put a little bit on there. Boom, 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 boom. This Chipotle taco sauce is medium. And they also have it in hot. But I like the medium because I already be putting so many spices in there. And we're just gonna get some on there. And believe it or not, even though it's in this type of bottle, it is still pretty thick. And then just fold. I kind of like to overlap my taco like this a little bit. And then you know. And then I don't know about y'all, but I hate when I'm like take that first bite and there's nothing there. I don't know if y'all can really see. I don't want it to spill. It's kind of spilled already. So you take that first bite. Yo. This is so good that I deserve a subscribe, a like, and a comment. Like right now. I think I'm gonna eat all of this. Like, this is happening for me. I will finish this up off camera, but if you haven't already, as I already stated, like, comment, subscribe. I deserve it after showing y'all how to make this masterpiece right here. You wouldn't know it wasn't chicken if I didn't tell you, so that's definitely a plus. If you are a vegetarian already, I would say make something like this for your friends on a good little Taco Tuesday and trick them. Like, don't even tell them. I mean, it would be bad if it was meat and you didn't tell them it wasn't meat, but it's not bad to trick people and tell them, hey, that's chicken. Because like, you aren't hurting them in any way, unless they're allergic to soy or some shit. But people always find these allergies, but they love to find ways to still eat meat. But instead of pushing my vegetarian agenda any longer, I just want to say I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informational or some value. And stay untouchable. Godspeed.